Alright, I guess let's get right into this then. We've got Wheels of Wisdom here. Turns pretty good on the 3x3, like they all do. They all turn pretty good. The main problem is the catching. You get a corner like, let me get a better corner to catch, hold on. You get a corner and they catch on each other. Come on, catch. Now it won't do it, of course. It won't jam up for me now when I want it to. Where is it? There it is. You get the corners like that and they catch and they pop out, and if you try to turn through that, it's gonna jam up the whole puzzle in there. I wouldn't worry about breaking them though. They're pretty sturdy pieces, which we're gonna go over, of course, later. See, it's just catching right away. This is the main flaw of the Wheel of Wisdom right here, is these little triangles don't stay in their little seat, which I'll be showing you guys how they sit on there anyway. Sorry about that. Alright, I guess let's just get into taking this apart. Some of you obviously have either wanted to lube this thing or have had the misfortune of having it fall apart. So we're just going to put it back together. It's actually not too hard to put back together. You're going to need one special thing for putting this thing back together. Actually, two things. You're going to need this screwdriver, because you're going to have to take a core out to take it apart in the first place, and then you'll have to put it back together. So you might as well lube the core while you're at it. So you're going to need the screwdriver, and you're going to need tape, and of course the lube for the lubing the core, and the pieces. We're going to lube the pieces while we're at it. So you're going to need the tape, and what you're going to end up doing with the tape is you're going to pretend that this is a corner piece, even though these are of course all the exact same. These are corner pieces for right now. You're going to take this piece right here, and that one, and that one, and that one, and you're going to tape those together. And then you're going to stick them in there along with the other side that's taped together, and you're going to just stick it in between the centers, and it's going to stick in there really, really easily well. And it's going to be just like assembling a normal Rubik's Cube. So let's take this apart now. Which side do I want to take apart? Oh, and if you don't want to take it all the way apart, I recommend literally just taking out one core at a time and lubing it that way. If you don't have to take this apart, don't do it, because it can be difficult. Alright, so that is done, like that. And then you can literally just lift all of these pieces out. These pieces, they just sit on the top here. You know what we're going to do? We're going to flip it over just like this. Give me a second here. See? Alright, well, it has now died, but that's what happens. Give me 1 second here. Let me make sure I didn't drop it on the floor. I did not. Drop it down there. Yep. Let me get that one. Yes, there's quite a lot of pieces with this puzzle. A lot of pieces. I'm sure some of you are terrified right now about just how many pieces there are. But it's actually pretty easy to manage once we get it going. So here's the insides of it. Pretty simple design. Not too tricky in there. Let's get a little closer. A little better light. Sorry about the lighting in advance. It's let me try this actually. Doesn't really help much, so we'll turn that back on. I have bad lighting, obviously. Much better for picture taking than for videos. Let me finish taking this apart. Okay, so we have the core. Let me get this piece right here. We're going to put this back on right now because I've already lubed up the core. So we're not going to go through that. If you know how to lube a speed cube, same thing. It's got the same parts to it. It's not a hard thing to do. If you don't know how to lube a speed cube or any kind of cube at all, then I would suggest you go find one of those tutorials. Crazy Bad Cuber's tutorial is a good idea to find. His is a very accurate tutorial. Let me just see. Yeah. See, I like mine to be almost exactly the same as the other ones. This is also a very hard puzzle to tension, so. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to start separating these parts Right now we're just going to take all these pieces. You know what? Let me show off a couple of the pieces here, because there's really only a couple main piece types. You've got this corner piece right here. These are the corners of the 3x3. You know, nothing too special. It's just a piece. And these are the edge pieces of the 3x3. Again, nothing all that special. Just a normal edge piece. And then we've got the core. Nothing special. And then we've got these pieces here. Let's see, let's go with, I think orange will show up the best. Right, and we need one of these little buggers here. Where are they? Where's an orange one? No, I can't find any orange ones. There we go. So you've got the little tiny triangles. They've got this little hook on here, but this is a very robust piece. My hands are pretty strong and I can't bend this, so your chances of snapping this if you pop it or anything like that are pretty low. This is good plastic. And then we've got the larger triangles, the ones that sit on like the corners. It's just got a nice foot there. Come on, camera, focus. Focus. Alright, that's about as good as we're going to get, I guess. Yeah, so, you know, there's their other piece. And then the large triangles. The oblong things. Whatever you want to call them. Those are your piece types. Alright, so let's get to separating these. I'm going to take all these 3x3 pieces and I'm going to put them in a pile together. And we're not going to touch them for quite a while, because basically we're going to end up organizing the whole cube and all the pieces before... Oop, my thing just moved. Hold on. Before we do anything else, is we're going to separate all these pieces, 3x3 pieces together, and then all the small pieces can be lined up by color. I separate them by color because it's just easier to do. Give me a second here. I'm going to add skips to the video so you guys can skip past tedious things such as this, because you probably don't want to sit here and watch me sort all of them. You just need to know that we need to sort. Ugh. Let's get all the blues. Miss any pieces back there? No. Okay. There's another blue one. Make sure there's no pieces anywhere. Sorry about the shaking. This camera's on a basically my pull-out computer desk for the keyboard, so it's not the stablest of surfaces, I would guess to call it. But I'm sorry about the camera angle too. I don't really have a wide view camera, so some of these things are going to be off camera. Okay, 2 colors down, 4 to go. Let's see. Oh, there's a bunch of orange right here, so we'll just start with the orange. That makes life easy. It's almost sorted by itself. I guess we might as well go over assembly while we're at it. Oh, my phone ring. Hold on. Interesting. Excuse me, guys, for 1 second. I know I'm supposed to be doing this, but something important is going on. we'll do that later. This is not a time sensitive thing. I thought it was, but it's not, so don't need to worry about that right now. Alright, orange is done. Now green. And we'll just start with the white over there. Pretty much, we're just about done taming this puzzle here. This puzzle is not a hard puzzle to tame. It just looks like a lot, but it's really not too bad. Also, I'm going to take apart my Iton star that I just received in the mail. It's the nice pretty red one, so I'll be making a video on that too, in case anyone is crazy like me and decides they want to take it apart and lube it up and, you know, all that stuff. That video is probably going to be ridiculously long. Oh, missed a piece here. Okay, so we have our 6 piles of pieces right now. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get an edge piece of the 3x3. Any edge piece will do. And we're going to take it, and we're going to take these 4 pieces right here. We're going to take a small triangle, 2 of the large triangles, and 1 of the corner triangles. Right there. And we're going to put on the corner triangle first. It goes right into this little groove here. Very, very easy to do. And then we're going to put this one on right here. And this one. And then that one. And that's how they sit. And then you're going to take your tape and you're going to put your tape on that. So let me get some tape out here. And again, this will be another time once you're sure you've seen this and are familiar with the process. You don't really need to watch all of this. It's just going to take forever. Really, the hard part about this puzzle is time sensitive. Is just, you know, it takes forever. So you get that tape on there good, and then you can just set it right down. You're going to do that 4 times for each color, and you're going to end up with 4 of these left over, and you're going to end up with 4 of these left over. Keep them in a pile. You're going to need them later when you're finished assembling the basic Rubik's Cube. Alright, so let me finish taping this. I'm actually going to stop the video here. Let me just do one more, and then I'm going to stop the video because there's really no reason for me to record this and have to upload it and edit it and all that stuff. So I'm just going to do 2 of these. Let me get the tape first. It's easier if you get the tape first. Where did it go? Come on, tape, don't fight me. Okay. So again, we just put these pieces on here. And we lay the tape on here. And I like to lay the smooth edge next to the smooth edge. It just is the way I like to do it. Alright, and then that's taped together. It's a little bit loose on there, and if you jostle it too much, it will fall off the tape. Tape wise, I would get some masking tape or some painter's tape, something that's not going to leave any, if at all, you know, just a little bit of sticker residue. On the stickerless puzzle, the sticker residue comes right off, and of course you don't have to worry about damaging stickers, so you can rub it at it as much as you need to. So that's not a problem. Definitely get some tape that's sticky but doesn't leave crud on your cube. Alright, so I'm going to shut the video off now, and I'll be back in a second. Alright, we're back. By now, you guys should have done all of these. You should have them taped up nicely with your piece. And the way these are all going to fit in is just like that. They fit in there so nicely and easily. Now we're going to start building the regular Rubik's Cube. If you guys want to solve your thing at the end and then pull pieces out to fix the misaligned pieces, because that may happen, be my guest. But I'm going to take the time to assemble the cube properly so that I don't have to do anything. It's just solved when it's done. So we're going to take this piece right here, the orange and blue, and we're going to, let me put it on the right piece, and we're going to put that right there. We're going to get a blue one. We're going to put it right here. And we're just going to hold these together. And we're going to put that, Oop, don't see, this is the part that is the trickiest part. Out of all of this, this is the trickiest part. Because this is the part where you have things popping apart and everything can go, yeah. Alright, so you just kind of get that in there. Easy peasy. More or less. You know, like I said on my post on the puzzle photography, this can be kind of fiddly. It can be kind of a mess at times, so be prepared for the pieces to fly apart at least once. It's gonna happen. That one, of course, was just an easy one to fix, but I had them yesterday when I was reassembling this for the first time, where it just, everything flew apart and I wanted to chuck it at a wall. But so yeah, we're just gonna start assembling the cube here, trying not to, of course, knock the other one out of its place. You're gonna want to be really delicate, but push it in there. Alright, so we've got these two in here. Now we're gonna grab the corner that goes with that. It's gonna be just like assembling a normal 3x3 cube. Where is that silly piece? Why do I not see that piece? There it is. And then this just kind of lays in here. It doesn't really do us much good, but it does go in there just like that. I think my light got even worse. Alright, so it's just like that. And then we're going to get the white and blue piece. Once you get the hang of this part, it's pretty simple. Pretty simple. Okay, and you know what? I'm just going to move these back. And see, it's easier when you can, once you get those first couple pieces in there, you can keep it laid on the on your surface, and then you can not have it fly apart. Makes life so much easier. Let me see. Get in there. Do. See, this is the tricky part. There it goes, just like that. So now we've got the corner blocked, just like on a regular 3x3. Oh, by the way, once you lube the core, this thing turns like butter. It's amazing. And just lubing the core, I have found it makes everything turn so much better. But we're going to lube the pieces anyway, because why not, right? Alright, so now let's go orange and green. I like to do the orange side first. Alright, let's see. How is this going to end up? Okay. There we go. You just got to kind of finesse it in there without wiggling everything else out of the line. Once you get a piece in, make sure everything else isn't about to pop out. Like that. See? But that's easy to get back in there. So now that popped out. I don't think you guys can see it on the camera, but it popped out. You pop it back in. You know, not a biggie. Nothing exploded. So, alright, so let's get the orange, white, green corner in there, and we'll lock this down too. Make sure nothing comes out. Alright, now we need white and green. Alright, and again, we can keep it just on the surface this time. Okay, look at that. We've got like a third of our cube done now. Let me just mush that back in there. See, the tape's starting to come off. That's because it's not that sticky of a tape. Alright, now we need orange and yellow. Sorry, I need some water. And this is going to be the first tricky one. You're going to have to put it in here and then hope everything doesn't slide all out. Like that. But I think that one will stay in there. Yep. And we're going to slide it around. Again, a tricky part. It doesn't always like to go. There it goes. Perfect. Alright, where'd that one piece go? Gonna put that back in. We're almost past the tricky part, the part where it will just fall apart on you. Once you get so far into the reassembly, it doesn't really go back apart. Why is that? Okay. And then that goes there. But I gotta get that to get in there. Give me this on. Sorry, peoples. This is not cooperating. It's funny, the blue side did this to me yesterday. It was a complete pain in the you-know-what. So I guess blue is the trouble side. It's the side that likes to mess life up. Alright, there we go. Put that corner in. And we put the other corner in. Where is it? There it is. And then we've just got the last layer to do after we do these two edges right here. And we're pretty much home free. The last top side, you guys are going to love this. It's so easy to do the top. Once you get this cube built up, it's so easy because you're just going to pop the pieces right in there. Alright, so let's see. We need a yellow and a blue. There's that one. And a yellow and a green. And then I'll show you guys what I was trying to do earlier by only taking out one side at a time to lubricate everything and all that jazz. Alright, so we've got the cube pretty much built up now. Whoops. Yeah. Oh well. Not a big deal. You really got to be mellow on this one. Sometimes pieces just randomly fall out. So there we go. We've got our cube, and again, I've lubed the core, and this thing, I'm barely touching that, and it's turning almost a full turn. This thing turns so well. So well. Alright, so now we're going to take these last edge pieces and we're just going to put them on right where they go. We're just going to get those right in there. Oh, wait, sorry. Forgot a part. We're going to take these edge pieces and we got to get the corresponding piece. That's what we have to do. So this one white piece, just the half of the white, it's going to go right in here. Don't do this to me, green. Fiddly. This is what I was talking about by fiddly. It's just gonna every now and then pop a piece out at you. It's going to frustrate you as much as it possibly can, and you just gotta hope it doesn't blow up. Is it gonna do that? Yep, it's gonna do that again. That side does not want to stay in. Alright, well, beauty of this puzzle is, let me see, hold on, is that you can pop pieces in later. So what we're going to do is we're just going to leave that out because we can pop that in on the face. This one does not want to stay in. Really does not. Get that tape right on there really good. Okay. Again, I took this piece out because it just keeps popping the other piece out. And we don't need it to be in there, so, because you can just pop them in. Alright, so now we've got blue. We're going to do the blue side now before it causes us any more issues. And we're just going to put that right in there. This is why we haven't put the corners on yet. This thing, man, it really is trying. I'm just going to get it in there. This is also a difficult part, but not super hard. You just got to persevere. I think I'm mumbling, but, you know, oh well. On some of these pieces during my my sorting and reassembly, I found tape on some of the smaller triangle pieces. So they used tape at the factory to get this thing together. I know that for a fact. But then they didn't remove it. And that's probably because they used a different method than I'm using. But this one seems to work the best. I haven't found a better method to reassemble this cube at all. I really have not. Alright, and then the last half of an edge piece here. Sorry, I missed the camera there. We're just going to kind of snap that in there. Okay. Now we're going to snap in all the corners. These should go in fairly easy because these edges have a lot of give still. The last one may be a little bit tricky though. Let's do this one. This is why I saved the corners for last. Alright, and the last corner. And hope everything doesn't go boom! Because, you know, that would suck. Just kind of wiggle it in there. There we go. Alright, and this is what I meant by just removing the core and pulling out some of those pieces. Because now you can lube in here all that you want. As much as you want. And it's going to work just fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the lube out. Let me get this out. And I'm going to put some lube in there. I'm using some stuff I got from the Lubrical, or the Cubicle I should say, sorry. It's just as good as Lubix, but it's a whole lot cheaper. Not paying their ridiculous prices. Alright, and we're just going to put some in here. Let's see. Let me get down at the camera level so you guys can actually see. We're just going to put some in here. Not a ton, because it's not really going to need a ton, but this is going to really help the pieces, you know. And we'll get a little bit under this lip here. This is really going to help the pieces run smoother on these faces. The wheels are, you know, this is going to help the wheels a whole lot. Alright, so we've got that grease in there, that lube, and now we're just going to snap these pieces in. Except this one's going to try to explode on me, so... But yeah, we're just going to snap these right in there into this part. And they do just snap right in. It's going to feel like you're going to make everything pop, but you really got to push on these. But they do snap right in. And then now I'll show you guys why we saved all those corners and stuff for last. Because all those really did was complicate the assembly. And you don't need it to assemble this, obviously. And then you can just pop them in. Because they're very durable plastic. And they don't seem to mind being bent just a tiny bit. Oh, this last one's giving me a fight. This last one is definitely fighting me a lot. Okay, so now take all your tapes off. Don't need any tape anymore. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's a little bit of residue on here. On my puzzle though, since it's stickerless, it's just going to come right off. I'm going to get a damp cloth later and I'm just going to go and rub at it. I don't know how this will affect the stickered puzzle. I'm assuming a damp cloth would probably ruin the stickers, or at least partially ruin them. So let's peel all this tape off of here. And then we can go on to the next steps. I'm going to add some more lubricant to a few other places, because otherwise it'll take forever to spread the lube around the cube. And I'm using, what is it? A 3-weight, so it's like a middle weight. It's a middle viscosity. It's not too thick, but it's not thin like some of the other ones like Maru Lube or Calvin's. So we're just going to squeeze some lube in there. Not a ton, just, you know. And then we'll put some in here. Just some. Oops, got some on the outside. Not a biggie. Alright, and then we'll do the little bit on the orange here. Gonna get it in there. Okay, now that we've got that done, let me take and put this difficult piece back in, the one that didn't want to stay in, and you're literally just going to snap it in there. It just goes right in. Not a hard thing at all to do. Alright, we're going to do, let's do the white side first, since you guys can see that the best, and then you can go home if you want to skip the rest. We're going to put in these corners. They go in relatively easy. Alright, and on the last corner of everything, oops, why am I doing that? On this last corner, we're going to take some grease, some lubricant, and we're going to put it on this top part here. Because the way this works is all the small triangles, oh, there's a hair there, all the small triangles sit on top of this. So we're going to do that, put some nice grease there. And we're going to pop this in here. Don't bother to grease this because you've already greased the discs themselves inside of the thing. Alright, and then again on this side, on this small thing, because this sits on top, and this should counteract hopefully a bunch of the catching that we end up seeing. And you're just going to pop it right in there. The puzzle has so much give to it that it's really not an issue to get it in there. You won't feel like you're going to break it at all. So, and I'll just put a little bit more on here, and I guess I'll put a little bit on the top too since it's out, and you just snap that right in there. Tensioning this puzzle is really difficult. You're going to have to figure out if you want to deal with constant catching and have it nice and loose and easy to turn, or if you want to have it a little bit tighter and worry about it being hard to turn. There's really not much in between, honestly. It kind of sucks, but that's just how it is. It's just catchy because of those little triangles. Those little triangles are obviously necessary, but they're definitely a design flaw. They don't stay in their place very well because they're sitting on top of 3 other pieces at once. So, sorry, I'm trying to get the light for you guys. You put some on there, and you snap this last one back in. These corners are a little bit loose, but it'll tighten up once we get all the pieces in. Get in there. There we go. Little corners. These go in super, super easy, like I've said before. I think I'm just going to shut up now, because everything else from this point on is self-explanatory. You just finish putting the puzzle together. Alright, red side's done. Right now it's going to feel, well, good, but really catchy still because it's not working quite properly. I wish it was like this, because this is easy to turn. Oh well. There we go. Now we're good. You might have to turn this side just a little bit to get that in sometimes. But if you put it at the normal speed cube tensions, you should have no problem. Don't tighten it too much when you do the core. Obviously, you're at the end now and it's too late for me to tell you this, but you can loosen this, of course, if you're having issues assembling the cube. So, oh, I forgot to put, oh well, it won't hurt anything. Eventually the grease will get over there, because of the weight I'm using will spread very well. It'll get everything nice and coated. I seem to be missing one of these small orange ones. I'm gonna have to look around for that. It probably just went back there somewhere, or under my keyboard. Let me see. Yep, there it is, under my keyboard. My keyboard's like right here, so it's very easy for it to slip down there and get under the keyboard. My keyboard has like a handrest thing with a hole in it, so stuff falls in there. Alright, we're almost done with this. Almost there. I think we're going on half an hour for a video, and it takes probably 45 minutes to an hour to actually assemble and sort and all that stuff. Taping the pieces together takes the longest time, of course. You've got to sit there and tape everything together little by little, and it just takes quite a while. It's just, you know, I guess put on some good music or put on some TV. Just, you know, do it a little bit at a time. Don't rush, because you'll only find yourself getting ticked off that the pieces keep falling off the tape. Oh, come on. This one does not want to go in. Why? I don't want to push any harder than that, so we're going to loosen this up. 1, 2. That should help. Yep, there we go. Right back to being tight now. Okay. So yeah, if you, what was I going to say? I forgot. Oh. If you don't have to take this thing all the way apart, don't do it. Take it apart face by face. Lube the core piece. Lube these pieces. And then put it back together and do the next face. It's honestly a ton easier. But if you really want to take it all the way apart just to see how it works, or your cube has popped open and you've got to put it back together, this is the way to do it. Or at least the easiest way that I've found. I don't honestly think there's a better way, but people are good at proving each other wrong on the internet, so feel free to go for it. Alright, and these are the last pieces that we've got to do. There it goes. Some of those corners feel like they're going to break, but they're really not going to, unless you've got a flawed piece to begin with. Alright. And then the last one. Put a little bit on that. And we are done. This thing is back in working order. The 3x3 turns like a dream. It really does. Still catchy as ever, but that's again the design flaw. See, right there. Blue triangle. Caught. And now these wheels are pretty good because I would hope, retensioned it a little bit. Everything should break in nicely. Everything should be very well lubricated now. I would sit there and mix it up for a while. We're good to go. Oh, let me put the caps on. And then I'll show you guys my favorite pattern before we go. It's pretty easy to do. My hands are all lubey now, so everything's all slippery. Alright. Everybody knows how to do a checkerboard by now. Really simple. Now you're just going to turn all these wheels a little bit. Just the quarter turn or whatever you want to call it. Eighth turn, I think, actually is what it is. And then you're going to undo your checkerboard. And we're going to end up with a really cool like starburst pattern on it. There we go. And that is the Dayan Wheels of Wisdom. See you.